Hey everyone, welcome back to Spellbee International, the language of life. Difference between American English and British English. It's actually part 2, and we were seeing the spellings. So, we're here in on checklist. We are continuing with our spelling, and this is part 2. So, we were here. And let's start. If you did not see the first part, don't forget to see it, or else you might be confused with what I'm talking about. Okay? Yeah, I believe in you guys. I know you will all watch my first part. So in American English we use E. But in British English we use AE or OE. We use not example like a shortcut. In a shortcut, actually in American English when we use E, just add A in front of it. Yeah, I'll just write and I'll show you. Add an A or an O. Add an A or an O, something. And then you'll get British English. For example, encyclopedia. ENCYCLOPE. See or here? EDIA. ENCYCLOPAE. Or here, we are getting AE. For the next one, MANEU. See? E. Not you guys, not you. E. No, you will come, but E. I did not underline the U. E. MANEUVER. Or here, MANOE. See, there's O in front of it. Like that, we're having medieval. MEDIE. But in British English, MEDIAE. In this case, we are getting AE. Then we are having American English. In this case, we are having DG, G, GU. And in British English, we are having DGE, GE, and GUE. I have found a shortcut for this one also. In American English, we're just having DG, G, and GU, right? Just add an E. If you want to change American English to British English, add an E. Plus E. But when you want to change British English to American English, just minus an E. Okay? I am not having time to write minus E for everything, guys. I'm so sorry. So, for example, aging. In American English, we're just having G. See? Aging. Nothing around it. But when we're changing it to British English, we're adding an E. See? Not here, as here. GE. As I said, American to British plus E. Then argument. GU. So when you're changing it to British English, you're adding an E. See? Right here, GUE. We were having GU over here, so we're having GUE. Argument. Then we're having judgment. For judgment, we're having DG. See, we're having DG over here, and we're adding DG here. Judgment. And we're changing it to British English. We're adding an E. See? So it is DGE. See, we're having DGE here, right? So it is DGE. In American English, we use ENSE. The only thing that changes here is the S and the C. For example, the license. License. ENSE. But over here, ENCE. Defense. For defense, we're having ENCE over here in American English. And in British English, we're having ENCE. Wait, in American English, did I say CE? Oh my god, I just got confused. Do you know why? I got confused because I'm an Indian and we use British English the most. And due to that, even I get confused. Actually, I lived in America and I used to write the spelling as COLOR. But when I write COLOR in India, my teacher says, no, it's COLOUR. But after studying spell bee, I was like, okay, because it's British English. But actually, there's no big deal. If your teacher next time says it's wrong, just tell her it's the difference between American and British English. Next time you won't get caught, okay? So let's move on to the next one. One other specific difference. Jewelry. Okay, actually, I think this is a recap of part 1. You might not understand this because if you did not see the part 1, you might not. But if you did, well done. Yours is the luckiest day, guys, because you will understand what I'm talking about today. So, jewelry. JEWELRY. LRY. But in British English, it's double L. See? Jewelry, double L. Then draft. We're having F. But in British English, it is UGH. For this to explain you better, for phone, we use PH instead of F. But it's equal, right? We pronounce it as F. But when But when we're talking stylish, like texting on the WhatsApp, we just say phone. We write like that. It's like, although it's spelling mistake, we just say phone. My class teacher, even she said it's like that. She just texted me like phone. Like that. Phone. But PHONE and FONE is not the same. But PH pronounces F. Just like that, we're having draft. We're having F, but we're using UGH. So there's no big difference. Don't get confused. You can use anything you want. Then we're having pajamas. For pajamas, in American English, they use AJ. Not AJ, but A. Instead of Y. See? Then we're having plow. If you don't know what a plow is, there's like a stick and like something like that and like this some spiky things. This is to just turn over the soil. I just learned it in secondary school. Well, okay. And then let's just continue the class. And PLOW. Actually, we used to say OUGH, but in American English, they used to say W. Well, I do recommend using this plow because many of us do know UGH plow, including me. I do recommend it, but if you want to write it in short form, you can write it. If someone says, don't you know the spelling, just say it's American English. Done. Then we are having program. For program, there's no big difference, but they just doubled up the M and then they just added an E. See? They doubled the M and then they added an E. So program, you can just convert it. Then tire. For tire, they just replaced I for Y. And they replaced Y for I. I hope you understand this. Don't, I request you, I'm like praying. Please watch my part 1 or else it might be confused to you. So let's move on. Next, this is the last one, guys. This is the last one. Finally, we are on to the last one. I know that you're all happy. I'm super excited to go to the next one, but we have to finish this. We have to complete it. So what does it say? Base word that ends in L normally double the L in British English when a suffix is added. So what base word? They have a base word and then they add ing. And why can't I just type? It's so hard to write with this. So when you do this, you get American English. Actually, this doesn't happen always, but the base word that ends with L. See? That end in L. I'm telling this rule is for the only thing for the base word that ends in L. Okay, don't get confused, guys. Only for the base word that ends in L, this rule is applicable. So in American English, it's just council plus ing. Not just ing, you can use any suffix. Do you know what a suffix is, guys? Suffix is like ing. For example, ing. This is a suffix because a word goes before it. Like counseling. So ing is the suffix because counsel is the base word that goes in front of ing. So suffix is something that goes after it, and prefix is that something goes before a word, like un. And un goes before a word, for example, happy. So unhappy. So un is prefix and ing is suffix. Let's move on to the next example, equal. In American English, it's equal plus the suffix, which is ed. And in British English, which is equal, add an L, add ed. Then we're having model. Model is the base word. So in American English, it's model plus suffix ing. So if you go to British English, it's model plus L plus ing. Like that, we're having many more examples like quarrel, signal, travel. So we don't need to see every example, but for your reference, you can see this. The letter can double up in American English as well. Okay, I didn't know that. But only if the stress is on the second syllable of the base word. Guys, do you know what a syllable is? I know it because I've learned it. Oh my god. Okay, I got it back. So syllable, for example, let's say Excel. So for Excel syllables, you need to just clap your hands. XL. Okay? So when you split it and say it, it's XL. XL, right? So stress is on the second syllable, right? So if you see this one, quarrel. Quarrel. Wait, I think I'm confusing you guys. Leave it, forget it, okay? I don't want you to forget this one. Just what I said now is forget it. Quarrel example, no. This is correct. What I taught you now is correct, but forget what I said this now. Let's come to this. So, the stress is on the second one. So, American English, it's doubled up. Then, propel. Propel. At this case, there is second syllable which has stress on it, so it's doubled up. Now let's go on to this one. See, I don't want you to forget the hints, guys, okay? See, what I taught you is perfectly correct. Don't get confused. If someone confuses you, just ask them if they're sure or not, okay? Because I don't want you to get confused at any case. What I taught you now is correct. Don't get confused. So this was the last one, and this is the end of this episode. I hope you liked this video. Stay tuned to Homeschool. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below. And as promised, I will give you the link in the description below for part 1. Stay tuned. Goodbye.